Hello, instructions for the physical therapy with name range. Go ahead and open this workbook and you'll see the beginning part is very similar to the previous assignment. We're going to add another section to that. So go ahead and open the workbook. So on this one, I'm going to make sure I select the range because I want to make a lookup table here. I'm going to click in the name box and type therapist. Enter. I always like to check to see if it worked. Perfect. And now I'm going to create a format as table, and I'm starting in A6 on the home tab, format as table. Select any light, medium, or dark you'd like. Make sure it's starting at A6 and not A5. My table has headers and OK. And then I'll complete first name and then last name. And you can make them a little bigger if you'd like. And we'll go ahead and, based on this therapist ID, match the by the ID number with the name. So it's you can find it in formulas under lookup and reference, VLOOKUP. So I'm looking at the therapist ID number, and the table I called it was therapist. And then I'm looking for first name, so that's in column 2. And if it doesn't match the exact ID number, false, return a false. And then I can see Anthony appearing. I filled in the rest. Now do the last name. I'll use recently used, VLOOKUP. The ID number is found in D7. The table I called it therapist. And the last name is in column 3 and return false. And there Shields comes up. So there we have, that's similar to the first one. Now we're going to count how many sessions did Anthony Shields have and what were the total hours. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the down arrow and choose, I'm actually going to do it by last name and put it in alphabetic order. So I have an alphabetic order. So the first one that comes up is McLean. So what I want to do is get a count. And I'm looking for, I'm going to use count text instead of numbers. I could use these numbers and do a count, just a basic count numbers and select this one. But if I were counting, so we'll try with this one first. So this one I will use count, and it's numbers. So I have to select the ones that refer to McLean, but they have to be numbers. So I'm going to select this range right here. So I have all of McLean, C7 to C14. Then when I'm looking for Nair, this time I'm going to use count A. So count A, very similar, just adding an A. The range, I'm selecting text. So that's why I had to make sure I used A. So either way is correct. This one is coming up as an error, and it's saying you omitted adjacent errors. You can ignore the rule. So it's your choice. Which version do you want to use? Count A or count, just count. So it's this is count where it's counting numbers, and that's count A. Either way, it'll work correctly. So if I were to look at the names, McLean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there were 8. So it's your choice. So I'm going to go to risk, and I'll use count. And when I choose risk, I have to make sure I'm selecting numbers that relate to all of risk, and then enter. Now I'll try for Shields. I'll use count A, and I'll select the shield names and enter. So I'll use count A again. So it's your choice. As long as it's one of the counts, it'll work. So Wilder and enter. And again, if you want to ignore the rule, you can, or you can leave it as is. I can see when I put on the show hide, I can see what formulas you used. All right, total hours. So this one is, we're going to get the total hours of time, unit of time, for McLean. So I actually wanted to add all of them. So I need a sum. So on this one, I will use the auto sum, and it's going to ask me what range. I'm going to select the first 8 for McLean, and then enter, and then do the same again. It's asking that you have not selected all of the adjacent rows, but that's okay. So now I'm on there, and then risk. Oops, I forgot one. Just reselect, and then shields, and we can check to see if this is correct. So shields, and then Wilder. So now, out of curiosity, if I wanted to check, you can ignore the rule if you want. I'll just do a basic auto sum here. So it comes up to 465. Now, if I went down here and did a basic auto sum for column C, it's the same. So that matched perfectly. It didn't match, but I just went and looked at the formula. For some reason, it started at J17 instead of J15. So now I have the exact number. So I'm not sure what I did there, but I didn't select the correct range. It should be J15 through J19. 15 through 19, and that matched. So we're going to bring this back later on, another way to get some totals based on if calculations, but we put them in alphabetic order so we could focus on each particular person. So we'll get back into that later on. In the end, the results are the same. That's a save and submit. Thank you. You can also rename the worksheet name too. Thank you.